Bam! What is going on, everybody? How are you doing? It is Thursday night. I am Boxman. This is Hollywood Hangout, and I've got something a little different for you guys. I don't think I've ever done anything like this before on this show, but I think this is going to be a good one. To be honest with you guys, um, I think you guys know if you've listened to the show long enough. I usually do older movies, anywhere from 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. We usually don't do very newer movies, but hey, trust me, tonight I'm going to do something a little bit different. And tonight I've got five, actually six, but the last one is a two-parter. It's a part one, chapter two. I've got a few movies I'm going to give you guys quick reviews of with absolutely no spoilers on some of the new movies I've watched. I only picked a few of the new movies I've watched. Some I've watched really recently, so I can give you kind of a better idea of what they were. But I, and I know this is a bit of a lazy show, but it has been a long fucking week. I actually literally 15 minutes ago just got back from my daughter's softball game. It has been a busy week for me. I'm not gonna lie. But this is what we're going to do. We're going to go over a few 2026 movies. Some are pretty popular. Most of these are on Netflix. The first four I'm going to talk about are on Netflix. The other ones, actually, one of them's not on Netflix. I lied. I'm lying to you. I don't mean to lie to you, but I lied to you. But yeah, I think this will be pretty fun. And again, no spoilers. I don't want to give them. I'm going to do my best to not give you guys any spoilers because these are movies. Hopefully, you guys are going to want to watch after I talk about them. So, fuck it. Let's just jump right into this. That's what I say. Let's just go ahead and get right into this. Uh, Dirk, I know I don't watch many modern movies either. By the way, Dirk, Luke, welcome, gentlemen. Thank you for coming in. I don't watch many modern movies either, but these were all movies that I kind of, when I did one of the last shows of last year, these were some of the movies that I was looking forward to. So, and again, most of these are on Netflix, and you guys can check most of these movies out. So it's good. And you know what? That's why I'm also doing it without spoilers. So if you do want to watch them, you're not going, well, I don't have any reason to watch it. Fucking Boxman spoiled everything. No, not going to do that for you guys. We're going to go through these, and I think this will be good. I really do. I think this is going to actually be pretty cool. I think this might be pretty fun. Not going to do this a lot. Like I said, I've had a very busy week. Thank God I got tomorrow off. Hopefully, a lot of you guys do too. But I think this is going to be good. And as I said, no spoilers. We're going to make this nice. We're going to make this easy. And let's go ahead and jump right into it. Starting off with a movie that is on Netflix. So if you guys do want to check this one out, you can. It's called The Rip. And once again, we got the boys back together, the Boston boys. Yeah. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck back together again. This time joining together in Miami as Miami-Dade police. They're part of a special unit. They're part of a narcotics team. They call themselves TNT, the Tactical Narcotics Team. That's about the only little spoiler I'm going to give you in the movie. They're an elite unit, and their captain was murdered. You see that right in the beginning. Very pretty brutal murder. And the team is kind of they're under a microscope, so they're being investigated the whole time. And it's pretty crazy, this movie. It really is. There's a lot of twists, a lot of turns. I actually watched this movie on Tuesday night. And holy shit, from the first 15 minutes, you're pretty roped into the movie. You really are. It is a very intense movie, but they're being investigated by internal affairs, FBI. It's a very, very, very good movie. But you've got Matt Damon, who plays Lieutenant Dane Dumars. A lot of personal tragedy. he looks pretty rough in this movie. Matter of fact, my wife walked by and was like, "My God, Matt Damon did not age well." I'm like, kind of for the movie, but I see where you're going. Then we have Ben Affleck. He plays Sergeant J.D. Brine. Now, I will tell you right now, I don't think this is a spoiler. When you're watching this movie, one thing catches your eye throughout the movie, and it's Ben Affleck's Just for Men dyed beard. It is because you see the pictures of the movie, and his beard has kind of got a lot of little gray in it. Then you watch the movie, and it's absolutely one of the darkest beards you've seen in your life. It just completely it's all matchy with the hair. He just went full Just for Men, top down. And you'll notice that if you want to watch this movie. I promise you, you will. So, but as we're going through, I'm kind of oh shit! This goddamn chat room is crazy. Rams fan, thanks for joining, my man. Um, I appreciate you coming on in. Yeah, let's keep going here. I got a little distracted. Let's go back to my notes here. So anyway, you've got the horrible beard. You've got all these guys, and basically the movie starts out again. They're being investigated. Next thing you know, they get something from Crime Stoppers, and this whole movie takes place in Hialeah. And another thing that'll piss you off is the way Ben Affleck says Hialeah. I'm not going to ruin it. I grew up driving a 24-foot box truck in Hialeah. I know how they fucking say Hialeah, and it's not the way Ben Affleck says it. So trust me, I know. But they find multiple, I'm not even going to give you the number, multiple millions of dollars stashed in a room in a house. Now, you'd think, okay, we're going to call this in, and this is where the movie takes the first turn. They don't call it in. Instead, Matt Damon's character phone possible, telling the team they don't know how much money is there, and we need to count it out. So, sorry, folks. That's a big part of it there. Now, if you're expecting like this Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, fun time relationship back together on screen again, it's really not. It's really not. It's a much different dynamic with these two. The BFF energy is not in this movie. He's they're both kind of playing against type here. You do see a little bit of, you kind of see a little bit of Jason Bourne coming out in Matt Damon here and there, but it's just they're really good, man. They're really these guys do work well together, and I don't think anybody can deny that. But go through, and you got Ben Affleck, who kind of has that. If you ever saw Townie, he got a little grit like that to the movie. Kind of renegade cop. He thinks he could smell a rat. It's a really, really good fucking film. You got others in the movie with them. You got Sasha Cal. She's Desi. She's in the movie a lot. And you got a few other people, but you got this kind of, at times you get like a Reservoir Dogs feel from this one. That chaotic kind of insanity, kind of, you got like the whole pressure situation. You do get a little bit of that, but you get a lot of whodunit in this movie. And when the ending of this movie comes to fruition, it really takes a twist, and you really weren't expecting it. You really weren't expecting it. But I will tell you, this movie's got a lot of that. You can tell it's a Netflix movie. It's got, the almost looks like a fucking episode of CSI, CSI Miami, the oversaturated colors, this and that. But the final 5 minutes of this movie is excellent, along with the whole movie. But listen, it's not like it's not your holy shit, there was action throughout the movie. Not really, but there is a lot of action in the movie. And again, I'm really trying not to spoil this for you guys. I'm really trying to make these movies so you want to see them afterwards. Um, True North Packers fan. Are bank heists dead now with Bitcoin? I don't know. They might be. I haven't heard of any. I just don't think we hear about them much anymore, to be honest with you. I'm sure people still try to rob banks. I'm sure of it. I just don't know why you would. But this film here, I'd recommend you jump on Netflix, check it out. I'm telling you now, it is worth checking out. It is a really, really fun, good movie. And listen, if you're a fan of the dynamic between Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, this is your fucking movie. This is it. Just don't expect don't expect Goodwill Hunting coming out of Hialeah. Because that's not what you're fucking getting. Not even close. You are not getting that at all. It is a completely different Ben Affleck, completely different Matt Damon. And watch out for that Ben Affleck beard dye job. Careful about that. So let's jump over to the other movie here. I have a little more on this movie, not much. I actually just watched this one on Wednesday night. So I just watched this one too. And this was one that I'd been hearing a lot about from people. And I like a good sci-fi movie. And, everyone kept comparing it to Predator. And I'm like, what? Like, or the original Predator? Like, yeah, kind of like that. Which length? Rams fan, length on the first movie or the second movie? Time length on the are you asking me? I'm not even sure anymore. Y'all are just going off in this chat. I love it. And I appreciate it. If you need me to get the time of the first movie, I can do that. That's not a problem. I can get the time of the rip while we're sitting here. Give me a sec. I'll get it for you real fast while we're waiting here. It's not a very long movie, actually. I noticed that too. Okay, let's jump on the old IMDb here. And that'll give us right away with the time length on. I'm going to say it's like an hour and 50. Yep, 153. I was going to say 150. 153, but that doesn't include credits and stuff. So I'll pull up the other one too. I'll give you guys times on these movies. I got no problem doing that while we're doing this. You guys bear with me all the time. So, as I said, we're talking about War Machine. 146 on War Machine. 146 on War Machine. So, this is another, listen, I literally a couple of weeks ago watched the Reacher series with this guy in it, Alan Ritchson. And I know he just got into a little bit of trouble, little fight, but he was cleared. He was cleared. Let's make that clear. He was cleared. This is another one you can jump on Netflix and find. And I really enjoyed this one. I got to tell you, in the first 10 minutes, I was kind of like, this is not picking up. It's not picking up. Then I would say 5 minutes later, it did start picking up. And from there, it kind of kept going and going and going. And then it was a much better movie. So this is a good one. This was recently added. This has not been on Netflix very long. And, we go through and, he's going through this whole boot camp thing. And obviously this is a military style movie, War Machine. And we're going through, and it's not this like, not like watching Platoon or Full Metal Jacket. That's not the kind. This is an elite unit. These guys are being fucking basically almost tortured, and they're getting fucking beaten to shit. These are elite groups, and it brings you down to the final 24-hour stage of U.S. Army Ranger selection. But again, Keep in mind, this is a sci-fi movie. And trust me, for the first few minutes, you're going to, where's the sci-fi? Where's the sci-fi? Stick with it, folks. I promise you. Stick with it. These guys are exhausted, out of ammo, just spent physically, emotionally, beat to hell. And suddenly they're supposed to meet, get this thing. They go through training and they're supposed to do the final training mission, but it turns out sour. And that you'll have to figure out how. I will say these guys are Ritchson plays 81. You'll notice all these guys go by numbers, not names. You don't hear any names. You hear a name or two, but very rarely. Um, but this is kind of Reacher like. But combat engineer, it's almost the same as the other movie. You got this combat guy who's got a tragic past, and you even get a little cameo by Jai Courtney. I don't know if you know who Jai Courtney is. Been a bunch of movies: Dangerous Animals, Terminator Genesis, Divergent, A Good Day to Die Hard. Been in a bunch of those movies, but we got a quick cameo by him in this movie. And I think Ritchson was really, really, really good in this movie. A lot of people say he's very. You got to have a part with very little dialogue for Alan Ritchson. He doesn't really talk much. What he does is, not great. And I'll agree with that. But he is a very good action star in my mind. I do think this guy is a great fucking action star. So Ritchson carries this movie throughout because really it is not full of tons of people. It is not. There's not tons of different shooting, scenes and stuff like that, shooting locations. It's pretty much straightforward Netflix movie. They pay a lot, but they try to keep their costs down. It definitely has a little bit of that 80s Predator feel to it. I'll agree with that. Obviously, with an updated kind of look. We know how Netflix movies look nowadays. So, but it's still a very good movie to be watching. It's paced well. It does good. But if you're looking for something like Predator meets Metal Gear, I think you found your movie. It starts as a kind of a regular military thriller, and then you get your sci-fi. So you definitely get that out of it. But you got Dennis Quaid playing a part in this movie, which is always awesome. I like Dennis Quaid. I do like that the recruits are all assigned numbers instead of names. But once this movie picks up, it just keeps going. It just keeps going and going and going, and it just keeps hitting and hitting. It doesn't stop. The visual effects are amazing. They're crisp yet gritty. Hope that makes a little bit of sense to you guys. But it really is a good movie. Now, if you're looking for amazing action, this might not be your movie. But I enjoyed watching this movie. Like I said, the first 15 minutes, I was a little, this is taking fucking forever to get to the point. And once it got to the point, I was like, oh shit, what the fuck is going on here? So once I got down to it, I fucking loved the movie. It just took a while to get me into it. But once I got it, once I was there, it was a good movie to sit there and watch. And it went quick. So that wasn't a very big deal. But I really say that if you're looking for a decent movie to sit down and watch on Netflix, that is definitely one to do it with. I think you're going to have a pretty good time on this. So definitely check that one out. Now, let me go to this real quick. Hold on one second. Let me get the runtime on this bad boy for you guys. The next movie Okay. Well, that's not in English, but I think it's the same movie. It is. It is. Okay. So here we go. This is the same movie, right? Yeah, it's the same movie. It's just weird. It's all in French. There's probably a reason for that. Anyway, this movie is 1 hour, 39 minutes. This is a Chris Pratt movie, and this one, I got to admit, I was really looking forward to seeing this. I kept seeing advertisements for this movie on like Facebook and social media, and I'm like, man, I really got to check this out when it comes out. I don't know if this one is on Netflix. This one might be on Hulu. Give me a sec. Prime. You can catch this one on Prime, folks, and MGM Plus. This is Mercy 2026. This is starring Chris Pratt. And man, I gotta talk. I actually am happy to talk about this one. This is a very good movie. You got a little bit of Minority Report feel in it. Remember that old Tom Cruise movie? Definitely have that feel. But this is a very, very good movie. Again, another actor stepping out of his usual witty kind of, Guardians of the Galaxy, Star-Lord, type character. He's completely out of that in this movie, Chris Pratt. This stars Chris Pratt and Rebecca Ferguson. Now, she's an AI voice throughout this. And if you've ever seen any trailers to this movie, it is great. This is a future LA, Los Angeles. And the justice system is no longer filled with courtrooms and stuff like that. It's AI. And that's exactly how it is. You have 90 minutes to prove whether you are innocent or guilty. And all you have to believe you is AI. That is it. That's it. So it's a very crazy movie. Let's get into it a little bit here. I really, really liked watching this movie. Great movie. Had a really fun time watching it. And again, 90 minutes to live. You've got Chris Pratt plays Detective Chris Raven. In this movie, this character was like the poster boy, which is where you get a little bit of the Minority Report vibe. Tom Cruise was really big behind the Minority Report thing and the whole thing, and the whole program. But you've got this guy who was the poster boy for this whole AI system. He believed in it. He championed it. He was praising it. And then one day he wakes up in the mercy chair, accused of murdering his wife. In flashback, she's played by Annabelle Wallace. Basically, this movie takes place in one place, in the chair. And to be honest with you, I said it was 139? It's pretty much real time. This movie pretty much goes in real time. It's not that far off from being completely a real time movie. You feel like you're waiting. That exactly, Rams fan. It is very Minority Report, but I promise you there's more twists to this movie. And again, I don't want to spoil this for you guys. I don't want to spoil these things, so I'm not going to do that. But this is very good. Now, again, you're in kind of a single location for this movie. He has 90 minutes to digitally scour surveillance footage, social media, private archives, which again gives you a little bit of that Minority Report vibes. But again, this is not the same Chris Pratt we always get. This is not the funny, quick-witted Chris Pratt. And I liked that about him in this movie. He was stripped of all that. He was vulnerable. He was fighting for his life in this movie. And that's not usually what we get from someone like him. So it's funny in this movie, though, the AI is not like robotic. It's just not. And again, played by Rebecca Ferguson. It's not very robotic. She's more calm and eventually becomes a little closer to human than you might think. It's pretty good, pretty good. But this is another one though with great visuals, great pacing, and once this movie gets kicked off, once he's sitting in that chair, you don't stop because he's got 90 minutes left. And it is just a fast-paced thriller from there on out. It like I said, you're almost with him in the 90 seconds going, holy shit, because we know what's going on a little bit, but not much. And that's another good part about this movie. A lot of these movies like this, we know who's doing bad. In this movie, though, you don't know until he finds out. So we all find out together. It's pretty fucking cool, to be honest with you. I really enjoyed this movie. I'm going to try to say this director's last name. Beckman Betoff. He's known for Wanted, Night Watch, and that is what he gives you in this stuff right here. As I said, once you see him sitting in that chair and he knows what's going on, this movie is great. I guess you could call this a popcorn sci-fi. You just want to kind of sit back, grab your popcorn, and watch this fucking movie play out. And it's very fun to do. But I mean, it's just crazy to think, and you can be completely innocent, but if the data says you're a killer in this movie, you're executed. That's it. You're either guilty or dead, or I'm sorry, you're either innocent or dead. And that's it. So, and folks, I knew this show was not going to be very long. I apologize, but like I said, I had a crazy week this week, and I've just had a bunch to do. But I didn't want to skip, and I thought about it but I didn't want to do that. So we're not doing that. I would recommend watching this movie. Once again, you can get it on Prime and MGM Plus. I think that's what I said. That's what I said, right? What the fuck? Yeah, Prime and MGM Plus. And I would 100% say check this fucking movie out. It is so worth it to check out. And again, I'm really trying not to spoil any of this stuff for you because these movies were worth watching. And again, I'm not the biggest fan of, 2026 movies. I am a fan of older movies. Most definitely. But when it comes to some new movies, I just got to watch some of them. Some of them are just great, and I enjoy some of them, and that one caught my eye. Mercy definitely caught my eye. I was waiting for that one to come out somewhere I could fucking watch it. And then when it did, I immediately watched it. And I was not sorry I did. So these are really short movies I'm going to talk about right now. And it's a chapter 1 and a chapter 2. All right. These are streaming on, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this streaming service. Let's find out real quick. Give me a second, Hill. This, the first one we're going to talk about, it's an hour and 29-minute movie. It is streaming on, you can actually rent it on Prime Video. Right now, you have to pay for it, but you can rent it on Prime Video. I'm sure you guys can wait and watch it. But I watched these two movies just last night. I watched them both. And here you go. This is what it is. You guys might not have even ever heard of these movies. I might be bringing you on to something here. 1 Mile with Ryan Felipe, who, by the way, is very angering because he does not age. This guy has not aged ever. He looks the same age he did when I was watching him in fucking Shooter on Netflix and all the other fucking shows. But I want to dive into these 1 Mile chapter ones and give you a little bit because I had heard about these just kind of looking through. I follow a lot of movie pages on Facebook. I follow a lot of movies things on social media. And basically I saw this come up and I'm like, man, these look pretty good. And then I'm like, oh shit, there's a part 2. So these came in chapters. Chapter 1, chapter 2, and I got to tell you, this one's 129, not including credits. So it's really only about an hour and 20-minute movie. The other one is about an hour and 23 minutes, probably with credits 115. They are extremely quick to watch, and I recommend watching them back to back. They make a lot more sense. They make way more sense when you watch them back to back. I was going to wait and watch the other one today, and then I was like, well, fuck, let me just go ahead and start watching it. Maybe I'll stop it in the middle. I didn't. Once I put it on, I'm like, oh, these are fucking pretty goddamn good, and I'm ready to fucking watch them. So here's what these are. This is recently added to the old streaming circuit. And this is, once again, 1 Mile chapter 1. This was the first half of, a 2-part story, as I said. And real quick, guys, I'm going to do a quick shot.
Oh, sorry.
And then we'll finish up the last movie here. 2 movies. She didn't even chill those.
It's been in the freezer for an hour.
Nope, it hasn't.
Ow, dogs.
Okay.
Daisy,
Rose, go ahead, girl. Okay, she's fine. Okay, so I think my dog wants to hang with me. So let's keep going here. This is directed by Adam Davidson. And this is basically a trip gone wrong. We've got Danny Beckett, played by Ryan Felipe. Again, fuck him for not aging. We've got a recently retired Special Forces operative. If you're going to ask me why he's retired, watch the fucking movie. I'm not going to spoil that for you. He's trying to bridge this gap between himself and his daughter. I know what you guys are thinking. I've seen this story 40 fucking times. That's right. The former Mr. Witherspoon. I hate the way she says her name. Witherspoon. Anyhow, enough of me being an asshole. Let's keep going here. His teenage daughter, as I was saying, played by Amelie Hoofer. I'm going to tell you right now, you watch these movies, they are not made in America. But what really caught my eye about this movie is the villain in this movie is named Stanley Dixon, and he's played by C. Thomas Howell. Yeah, Pony Boy from fucking The Outsiders. Uh-huh. That's right. I'm not telling you why he's retired, Luke. I'm not fucking doing it, man. I don't want to spoil that. Watch the movie. It's got a big part to do with the movie, which is the only reason I'm not spoiling it. It really is a big part. That's one of the things. Now, I'll set this movie up a little bit here for you. You've got the father-daughter. They're on a road trip to look at a few colleges. He has not seen his daughter very much over the years, being in special forces overseas. Obviously, trying to make up for it. She's a little bitter. Think we know how this story goes. And this film will remind you a little bit of the Liam Neeson Taken series. The daughter does end up getting kidnapped at one point. Now, he doesn't tell the guys, I have a certain set of skills. I will find you. No, he doesn't do that. Why do I think I missed a movie? I did miss a movie. I skipped a movie. I'll go to it in a minute. I'll do these two and then I'll go back to the other one. I accidentally skipped a movie, guys. I don't know how I did, but I accidentally did. Give me a sec. I'm just pulling everything back up for it that I had. So we're all on the same page here when we do this. Give me 1 minute, folks. I apologize. Okay. Now we're back to where we were. We'll do these two and then we'll go back. I did miss one, folks. I'm not quite sure how I did, but I missed one. There it is. Okay. So I'm not going to stop doing this one. We're going to keep doing these and then we'll revert back to where we were. So I'm a big fan of C. Thomas Howell. I love the movie The Outsiders. I was really happy to see him in this movie. And I'll admit I like Ryan Felipe. I've seen him in a few movies. I loved the Shooter series he did on Netflix. And he's really kind of becoming a good action lead, and I think that's kind of what they've been building him to, and that's not bad. But you got C. Thomas Howell, and he's a great villain in this movie. If you've never seen him as a villain, he's in Criminal Minds. He plays a great killer. He's in multiple episodes where they go after him in that TV show. Okay, hold on here. My dog wants to sit up here with me, so I have to grab my dog. Okay. So I love that part of the movie. I like, him. See, Thomas Howell is great in this movie, but this movie is very. Oh, calm down, girl. This movie has a lot of execution. It's very, very well. Again, another well-made movie. Still a little gritty. It doesn't have that Netflix sheen to it. That it still has a little bit of that grit. And again, this was all filmed up in British Columbia in Canada, which is why I noticed all the writing was in not English, but it was very good to. And another thing about this movie is the firearm use is limited. You've got a lot of hand-to-hand combat. You've got a lot of knives. You've got traps. You've got crossbows, bows and arrows. It's not your usual shoot 'em up. It really isn't. Which, I mean, let's face it, most of these shoot 'em ups are all kind of the same. But what's the worst? Oh, Luke. Okay, real quick. Luke wants to know the worst movie I ever watched. I'll tell you, and it may surprise you because it's a Mark Wahlberg movie. It's called The Happening. Probably, I would say the worst movie I have ever watched. And I am a huge Mark Wahlberg fan. I think we've fucking talked about this before. I love Mark Wahlberg, but that movie was dog shit. Absolute dog shit. Made no sense. Really didn't. Just a bunch of fucking people killing themselves. Why? Oh, because the fucking wind is blowing. Oh, go fuck yourself. Hated that movie. Hated that movie. Second movie I hated for a completely different reason, and I'll never watch again, is The Mist. I'll never watch the ending of that movie again. I thought about the ending of that movie for days. Days. Never seen it. Go watch it. Oh my God, that ending of that movie had me fucking haunted. Still haunts me. No reason to watch that shit. So this is another, as I was saying, it's a little bit of a short movie, and that's good because it gets, even the first one, you get a little bit of character development. It's a little bit slow to it does. It just keeps going and going and going and going and going and going and going. They're not trying to reinvent the wheel here with this movie. They're just keeping the wheel moving. That's all it does. But it the stakes keep raising throughout the movie, which makes it really a good story to listen to and tell. Um, but again, I like the grittiness, a little bit of an old school feel to this movie. Um, Pretty solid, just survival thriller. But in this in 2026, they released not only chapter one, but they went right on and released chapter two at the same time. These were filmed consecutive, right back to back. They were filmed together. They probably didn't have very much time to film these movies, and that's why they did that. But give me one sec here. Oh, hold on, girl. I'm just getting my notes for this one loaded up real quick. So, in the second half, you would think, hey, this guy's got it all figured out by now, but no, she gets kidnapped again. Um, again. But I got to tell you, the second one wastes no time jumping right into action. The other one, you got about a 20 to 30-minute kind of story arc where they're kind of just dragging on. Here's what's happening. Here's why it's happening. Here's this character, this character. And you really only have about 30 minutes of action in the movie. This movie, the second half, they decide to skip all that bullshit. They give you a quick kind of dreams, kind of a flashback of it, and then you're directly into the action. Boom, movie takes right off. You get action started damn near right away in this movie. So you got the other one where it's just kind of his daughter being kidnapped and he wants his daughter back. This one's a little different. You've got other people that are involved in getting his daughter and other things are happening. But, it starts out with his daughter in college. They think she's off the grid. She's not. And there's a little bit of a revenge plot involved in this movie, obviously. But in this movie, he's not, the other movie was sort of reactionary. This movie, he's hunting these guys. This is a little Rambo-ish. He is fucking hunting these guys. And you know what? It actually is Rambo-ish. The guy's basically running around the fucking woods with a knife. And that's it. And whatever he can fucking find. But you see a lot more of the special forces background here. I will say at one point it feels like Home Alone meets Rambo. If you end up watching these, you're gonna fucking laugh at that. I promise you. You are gonna crack up when I say Home Alone meets Rambo if you watch this. Shouldn't this movie be called Mile 2? It should be. Or well, then it would be called Mile 2 Chapter 1? No. It's fine. It's fine. But it literally at one point turns into Home Alone meets Rambo. And I'm not fucking lying. And that is not part of my notes, folks. I promise you that too. But that's what it turns into at the end. But it is a very good movie otherwise. The budget, you can tell this one had a little lower budget, but they definitely did what they had to do. Now, some people were leaving reviews that this film, even though had higher stakes to it, basically felt smaller. I disagree. I think this film felt better. I think it had more action. I think it jumped into the action quicker which I definitely appreciate. And I enjoyed it. I thought this was a great sequel for this movie. Again, you had the whole Danny Beckett being, all introduced. You had all this story arc, all this character development in the first movie. And the second movie just got right to the fucking meat and potatoes, man. They just jumped right in and started doing it. And I loved it. So there you go. Again, I recommend watching these movies back to back, one and two. I think it's the best way to do it. If you can't, you can't. But if you can, definitely do it. The last Rambo movie was so fucking bad. you know, I I I I just love Stallone. But the last few movies he's made have been, especially in 2025, and he even had one come out. Well, he had one come out late 2025, damn near 2026. You know what? That might have come out in 2026. Let me see something real quick. Alarum, Alarum. No, that was 2025. He was in it with Scott Eastwood. It was the end of 2025 when that came out. So let me get my dog out of here real quick, folks. I'll be about 1 second. 1 second. Okay. So I still recommend these movies. I still think they're incredible to watch. I had a lot of fun watching them last night. And I a lot of times I'll start watching a movie, and if I'm not that interested, I'll flip over and start playing a game or something, playing on my phone. I didn't do that. These movies captivated. The second one especially was much more captivating to me. So I liked it. Now, I knew this was looking a little quick of a show. Now, I was wondering why. And I realized I forgot about a movie. This is one I was definitely waiting to talk about. Let me get a runtime on it for this audience. And we are looking at a runtime of 147, hour and 47 minutes. And now I'm a big fan of Jason Statham. I think we all know that. And he's had this movie that I've been seeing advertisements for a good while now. And I've been wanting to watch it. Any new Jason Statham movie, I'm going to try to. I definitely want to check it out. I'm a big Jason Statham fan. I like his movies. So here we go. Shelter was a new one that just came out with Jason Statham. And this was a good one. This was a really, really good one. I'm not going to lie. It starts out a little bit Jason Statham-esque, I guess you could say. Quiet guy, lives by himself, doesn't want anybody bothering him. The usual Jason Statham character. Quiet life, living by himself. Former MI6 cleaner, which means assassin. And he's basically gone from assassin to a peaceful existence on a little remote island in the Scottish Isles. Well, this is another one that has a little bit of a slow burn. Starts out a little slow, but again, picks up. Also tracks with his kind of refusal in all his movies to form emotional attachments to anyone. It's just the way it goes. But he works with Bodhi Ray Berthnach in this movie, who's a young girl named Jessie. And basically, her family's helping him, Jason Statham, while he's trying to survive and not really go out very much. But I got to tell you, this movie's not the usual Jason Statham. Believe it or not, he says less in this movie than most, quieter. Um, a little more internal, kind of, kind of, just not the usual ass kicking Jason Statham. More running and trying to save this girl than going, taking out 10 guys in a fucking, mechanic's garage. Not really what this movie is about. But a helpless child, he helps. Kind of like the movie Safe. He helped out a little girl in that movie too. But this girl is very intelligent, very, very helpful to him, and he eventually starts liking her, excuse me. Now, this movie again, I didn't look where we can stream this. I think this is a Hulu stream. Oh, Prime. Stream Shelter on Prime. Now, this is again is a little bit back to that gritty. It is not shot with that high res, high saturation of colors that a lot of movies are shot with. Very gritty, which I like. I'm very gritty. I like the gritty cinematography, and that always helps me watch a movie a little good. But this film has a lot of stunts in it, a lot of car chases across mud, grasslands, CGI heavy, yes, but still good. Um, the final scene is fucking like a tactical genius. It is fucking awesome. It is a great final scene in this movie. But you got the retired hitman. What? The retired hitman trope? Is that a word to use here? In this movie, you know how he kind of is, they're all quiet, blah, blah, blah. But again, I'm a huge fan of Jason Statham. I believe if you are not a big Jason Statham fan, this is still a movie you could jump into and enjoy. Again, it's not the usual Jason Statham says 3 lines and then just, fades off into the distance while kicking 20 guys' asses. This is not that. This is not that. This was a very well done Jason Statham movie. And I was sitting there trying to be like, it's kind of like this one. It's kind of like, it's not. It's not. In the movie Safe, he was not only saving a little girl, but he was also trying to clear his name from dirty, corrupt cops. So, not what he was doing here. He was trying to keep his secret safe, though, in this. And he was, and one other thing I can go ahead and tell you about this movie is there's an AI factor to this movie, too. There's a big AI factor to this movie, too, as with Mercy. And the gentleman who played Victor in all of the goddamn vampire movies. What were those? Jesus Christ. I can't think of their fucking names right now. Those fucking vampire movies. With Kate Beckinsale. But I definitely enjoyed this movie, Shelter. I can't believe, I don't know. I must have accidentally deleted the picture or something when I was getting rid of some stuff. But this is really, I've seen every Jason Statham movie there is. And when I saw there was a new one coming out, just like last year, when I saw last year's movie Beekeeper in 2025 was coming out, I was like, hell yeah. Beekeeper was very Jason Statham. It was the same Jason Statham, little one-liners, Jason Statham. Boy, yeah, boy. That's not what we got here. Not what we got at all. And I was happy to see it. It was refreshing. We can see Statham's getting older too. He didn't just ferment his beard in this one, like Ben Affleck in the first movie. Underworld. Thank you, Luke. I knew someone in the chat because you guys are fucking smart. I'm a fucking idiot. Yes, that is it. Bill Nye. Thank you. Luke, I wish I could give you a gift. I bequeath you the gift of eternal life, sir. You have that to look forward to on your deathbed. The gift of eternal life. But it was refreshing to see Jason Statham in not this watch me take on 20 guys and kill them all. No, that wasn't what we got here. He was tactical. It made sense what he was doing. He retreated when he needed to, didn't interact if he didn't need to. I thought it was a really, really good Jason Statham movie. Even if you're not, again, I believe, even if you're not a huge Jason Statham fan, oh, his movies are all the same. I agree. I personally like those type of movies. Taken, or I'm sorry, The Transporter, all those kind of movies. I love those movies. I love schlock action. I have no problems with it. And I have admitted this 100 fucking times, if not more, on this show and back in the old, even from back to fucking THT days, the hot tag. I have admitted that I like bad movies, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Who says it's a bad movie? Some fucking critic who's getting fucking paid to fucking tell you a good review or a bad review. Fuck that. Fuck that. I watch what I like. That's it. Plain and simple. I watch what I like. If you don't like it, that is your opinion. You're welcome to it. I like crazy schlock action movies that sometimes don't make sense. I'll sit there and watch every goddamn Fast and Furious with a smile on my face. All fucking 10 of them. Really 11 if you watch Los Banderos, the short, 20 minutes short, that explains how they got to the Dominican Republic. So, anyway, real quick, I was asked the question the other day. Someone heard one of my other shows a few weeks ago where I said that wrestling is becoming a political minefield and said, well, you switch to movies. How is that not more political? Well, folks, I agree. A lot of actors are political. A lot of them have an opinion. A lot of them are entitled. Actually, all of them are entitled to their opinion. But some actor who most of them, in my opinion, are living in a different world and a different bubble and a completely different atmosphere than normal people who are out there working 8 to 5 every day. Their opinions on politics, the president, anything, has no bearing on whether or not I enjoy their movie. It just doesn't to me. It makes no difference. Just like wrestling, I can suspend my disbelief, sit there, brainlessly, mindlessly watch a movie. And that is what I do. De Niro is one of the biggest fucking haters of President Trump. I will watch any De Niro movie any fucking day you ask me to. You know why? I don't care. I don't care. I don't know President Trump and I don't know De Niro. So why do I care? So yes, it is more political. If you guys have noticed, I am not bringing up the political stuff on this show because it has zero bearing on whether or not I enjoy a movie. It just doesn't. I don't care. If you think De Niro's opinions on what this president is doing, whether he's right or wrong, have any bearing on my love of A Bronx Tale and Goodfellas, what? No, it doesn't. If you have that kind of bearing, you might want to take a look at yourself. It has nothing to do with me. I love movies, and that's it. That's it. So I wasn't even sure I was going to address that, but someone asked it to me the other day because I have said wrestling has become a political minefield, and I still believe it is becoming worse and worse every day. But movies to me just are absolutely. I go mindless, guys. I just go mindless. I just don't care. You actors' opinions on most things, as I said, I believe a lot of them. Not all these actors are fucking money making machines. But some of these actors have so much money, they're in a different bubble. They've never been to a fucking grocery store. They've never done half the shit that we've fucking done. But it has no bearing on, listen, I've never met the president. I've never met half these actors. So what does it have to do with me? You know what I want to do? I want to come in here. I want to tell you guys whether a movie I enjoyed or didn't enjoy. And I don't want you guys to have to think about the political ramifications of what we're having to say. I want to come in here. I want to relax. I want to have a beer. I want to talk to you all about a movie. And politics doesn't involve anything at all with me. Luke says he'd rather watch a movie with a massively political actor than one with a massively political writer. Except Aaron Sorkin, he gets a pass. You know what? I don't even care if the movie is political. Again, I can mindlessly go into a movie. That's probably one of the reasons I like horrible movies. That's probably why I like some of the bad movies I've admitted to liking. But when it comes down to it, a lot of times you guys like these bad movies that so-called bad movies that I like. And the reason they're bad is because some critic or some fucking person who just hates anything mainstream has to shit on it. And that's not the way it is, folks. That's not the way I think. It's not the way I feel. It's not the way I operate. How's that? It's just not the way I am. I don't care. I don't care. Who hates who? You live in your world. I'll live in my blue collar fucking world where I go to work every day. You live in your fucking white collar world in Hollywood. That's it. Juno says he's just here to write jokes about Chief's having too many kids. And his only political opinion is that I should let my Mexican housekeeper out of the basement. Listen, if I had a basement, I'd let her out. But she's in the barn. So you got to make that statement correctly, sir. The fuck? Good God, I wish I had a housekeeper. Look at that table back there. There's shit all over it. If I had a fucking housekeeper. Jesus Christ. But anyway, I'm that's not the first time I've been asked that question. It's the first time I wanted to address it, though, because I'm tired of being asked it. And plain and to the point, it has an actor's opinion on politics has no bearing on whether a movie is great, good, fun, none of it. Because you know why? There's not only one actor in a movie. There's not. There's not one actor in the movie. There are multiple actors in every movie. And just because I may be like, yeah, that guy's kind of a liberal loon, or this guy's kind of a Trump lover, it doesn't matter to me. Because there's other people in the movie, and there's other things going on in the movie, and I'm not going to let myself miss what could be a great movie because of something that petty, in my opinion. And I'm not going to let myself get sucked into oh, I can't watch his movie, I will boycott him. Go fuck yourself with all these goddamn boycotts. I use what I use. I like what I like. Stop telling me what I can and can't use. Even, you know what? I'll even go here. Even Trump telling people to boycott Bruce Springsteen. You know what? Fuck that. I grew up listening to fucking Bruce Springsteen songs. I fucking like some of them, goddammit. No, I'm not going to fucking boycott him. I don't go to concerts anyway, but no. I don't agree with Bruce Springsteen's opinions, but fuck, you put on Dancing in the Dark and I'm fucking, you got me and fucking Courtney Cox dancing, baby. Fuck that shit. People need to remember how to have fun and realize life ain't about who to hate. And I'm going to leave it at that, folks. Life is not about who we need to hate. It's about who we need to love. It is. Sorry, folks. I got 3 kids and a family, and that's what my life is about. My life is not about politics. My life is not about anything like that. My life is about me, my family, and that's it. And you guys. I love this. I love doing this. Without this, I may be one of those crazy people out there. I'll put it that way. I might just be one of them crazies out there if I didn't have this as my outlet, as the old show, Wrestling Outlet. So, yeah, see, Luke, massive leftist. One of his favorite actors is Republican Arnold Schwarzenegger. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Look, De Niro is one of my favorites. I love De Niro. I always will. I don't care what he says. First of all, you think that guy's ever been to a fucking grocery store? De Niro's never been to a fucking grocery store. Shut the fuck up, De Niro. I don't know. I do think that it is wiser of them to keep their opinion to themselves, but they're allowed to go out and speak whatever they want to speak. Absolutely. I just feel that they're alienating, or they're asking their fans to pick a side, and I don't feel that's fair. I don't feel that's fair. But that's what the media wants us to do. They want us to pick a side, and I don't think that's fair either. But I babbled there for a minute, but I did want to answer that question because it's not the first time I've gotten it in the past couple of weeks. And someone probably won't listen to this episode and ask me again. But that's it. I am 100% the guy that can just immerse myself into a movie, not worry about anything else, sit there, have a beer, maybe smoke a bowl, and chill out and watch a movie. And that's what we need to get back to, folks. We need to get back to being able to just sit back and do what we need to do. Right? That's what I think. Anyway, folks, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I thought this show was going to be less than an hour. I rambled, and I shouldn't have answered that last question probably, but I really wanted to get that off my chest because it kind of bothers me a little bit. But again, it just doesn't. It's just not something on my radar. I've taken a few things off my radar in the past, folks, and that's one of them. If you can remember a while ago, I said I'm just done buying in, and I am. I'm just finished with it. So I'm done letting the media tell me who I need to hate, who I need to not hate, what I need to think. I told you guys months ago to stop watching the news and start following independent reporters. Don't fucking tell me I was wrong. I was 100% right on that one. I don't usually brag, but I was definitely right on that one. Anyway, folks, Luke, I appreciate you coming in. I'm going ahead. I'm going to wrap this bad boy up too. Thanks a lot. Everybody who came into the chat. Luke, Dirk, Packers fan, Rams fan I saw in here earlier. Missing someone. I apologize for whoever I'm missing. But thank you guys for coming on in. And listen, if you guys enjoyed this show, let me know. I had fun doing it. Don't usually do this. I think it's the first time we've done anything without spoilers. So I had fun doing this, guys. And be back next week. We'll talk about Smart next week. I'm not sure what's going on. But anyway, guys, I appreciate everybody coming on in here. Listen, Easter's coming up this weekend, folks. If you are a church-going kind of person, believe in Easter, I say happy Easter. Definitely enjoys Easter Sunday. I got storms going on here all weekend, so I'm probably not going to be able to do anything. We're just going to hang out at the house more than likely. But that's it. I got tomorrow off. I hope a lot of you do too. So everyone enjoy yourselves. Back here next week, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, here on Hollywood Hangout. I am Boxman. Thanks for joining me, folks. On that note,